What up, what up? This is ASOG, back on the topic, back on the video. So the title of this video is going to be, is Kamala Harris black? So admin notes, thanks again to all the subscribe to the channel. I endeavor to keep pushing the video out, debate yourselves. So I'm in DC, walking around. I actually got lost today. I don't know where I'm at right now. I'm not too far from my job, but I guess I took some path that I had never taken before. But it's a very nice day out here in DC. Sun is out obviously, but it's like low 70s. So it's a really good day today. So I'm gonna sit here for a couple of minutes, knock this video out, and I'll go over this topic, because I think this topic has definitely been a hot topic since this election year has happened here in 2024. And you know, a lot of black folks around here are all about identity politics. So let's figure out if Kamala Harris is black or not. Let's get into it. So is Kamala Harris black? Well, from my research, the short answer is yes, she is. And before I get into the details about it, let me go ahead and put this out there. When it comes to Americans be identified as black, most black folks that are my age, or a little bit younger, and of course older, have been taught in history that at some point, once slaves were brought over here to the United States to black folks to be slaves here, it was one of those things like if you had like one drop of blood in you, you was considered black, right? And it's almost like folks here, white folks here that had slaves, looked at it as like the black blood was a dominant gene. So basically, they didn't want anybody to be associated with them when it came to being Caucasian. So if you was mixed with anything that was considered black, then you was black, right? And it's a couple of areas here in Virginia where you have black folks that literally can pass for white. And I'm telling you, it's absolutely crazy for me to see it. I had a family friend of mine that I went to see in Northern Virginia, but the western part, going towards West Virginia, right? And long story short, we went to this event, and there was a lot of older folks there, maybe like, I don't know, the average age for the older folks, maybe late 60s, early 70s. And these were black folks, but literally, like there was some of them that came up to me that I could not, if I saw them from afar, there's no way I could have been able to tell they were black. But these, and of course, we all know these are considered folks that are called mulattoes, right? But they literally could pass for white. And there's so many things in history, situations in history where folks that had, a small drop of black DNA, right, for lack of a better term, but they had I guess a dominant white genes that they were able to pass off as being white, right? So that's all to say that if Kamala, in my opinion, has one drop of black blood, she's considered black. Doesn't matter how she looks, right? So getting into the technical part of it, she's black because she has a Jamaican father. Now, I think I said it before in a previous video that, just because you're Jamaican doesn't mean that you're black, because I've seen Chinese Jamaicans, Rastafarians that were Chinese. I've seen Caucasian Jamaicans that were Rastafarians. So being Jamaican is more of a nationality more than an ethnic group, if that makes any sense, right? So I could be born indigenous to Jamaica, as far as like me being born in Jamaica and not have African genes, and I'm still considered Jamaican, right? So when I did more research, her dad is the product of Afro-Jamaicans, meaning that these were Africans that came over to Jamaica, right? So for all intended purposes, her dad is black. And because she has a black father, a blood black father, that means that she's black as well. And I know a lot of folks have actually, been on video or, been in social media and say, well, she's not black. Well, guess what? If she has a black father, what else is she? You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter if she has an Indian mother. She has a black father. If the roles were reversed and she had a black mother and a Indian father, it doesn't matter. She's still black, right? But here's what's interesting that I found out when I was doing this research. So her father was a professor at a college. I think he's emeritus right now, right? And long story short with this, I read that back during the 2020 campaign, when she was running with Joe Biden Joe Biden to become the president, I guess she was in some interview during this time of her running running with Biden for president. And I'm just paraphrasing here. I guess the interviewer had asked her something about weed or something. Like she admitted that she smoked weed before. And I'm not exactly sure if the interviewer has said something to the effect like, why did you smoke weed? And she said something to the effect, like I'm paraphrasing. She said something to the effect that I'm Jamaican, of course I smoke weed. And apparently her dad did not approve of this at all. He actually made a statement saying that it was a travesty that she said that, and that her grandparents would be rolling around her in their grave to hear her being associated with something like that. I guess he was trying to say that, that it was a disgrace for her to insinuate that because she smoked weed, she has to be Jamaican, right? And apparently he didn't actually show up to the inauguration of her and Joe Biden taking over the office of president and vice president. That speaks volumes. You know what I'm saying? For your father to not show up to you becoming vice president of the United States because of a statement you made. And, I do not think that I would have taken this seriously to a certain degree if I had not had a Jamaican co-worker that I work with here in DC. Now, mind you, I've been to Jamaica twice already, right? So I do understand that Jamaicans are very proud of their lineage. Extremely proud, right? But one of my Jamaican co-workers had told me, because we was talking about the new, well, it's not new now, but there's a documentary of Bob Marley that came out a couple months ago, and I want to say it was directed by one of his grandchildren. And this co-worker that I had said that a lot of indigenous Jamaicans don't rock with the movie because he chose the grandson of Bob Marley chose not to use actual indigenous Jamaicans to be the stars and the actors of that movie. Because if I'm not mistaken, when I did watch that movie, I noticed that the person that played Bob Marley had a British accent. And of course, there were some other folks that I had recognized from B movies and stuff in that movie. But basically, he said that real Jamaicans don't rock with that movie at all because he chose not to use Jamaican actors, and it didn't make sense for him to do that when he's Jamaican himself. He's this grandson or great grandson, I'm not sure, of Bob Marley. So why would you not use local Jamaican actors to be the actors and actresses in this movie? Why did you outsource folks that weren't even Jamaican to play Jamaicans, right? So that's all to say that Jamaicans have a very proud lineage and a heritage. They don't play around with their heritage. They really don't, right? So, that's all to say that, because also, I'm sorry, he also said that that his daughter, Kamala Harris, was actually being associated with identity politics because she insinuated that because she smoked weed, she has to be Jamaican. What does that sound like? How many folks have dealt with identity politics during this election year? Literally voting for Kamala because she's black, right? I mean, people are gonna do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not here to make people feel bad that they're using identity politics. But what I will say is that it doesn't make logical sense for you to think that because you're voting for somebody that's black, that they're going to be a better president than the other candidate. Now, I'm not saying that either one of them are going to be very good candidates or very good presidents. I can't really say. I can't really tell, right? We have to see the proof in the pudding, if that makes any sense, right? But identity politics can be very dangerous. It really can, because you're literally saying that I'm going to vote for this person because of their ethnic group. It's kind of crazy to me. And this is the same thing that happened when we actually voted for Obama to be president back in 2008. The exact same thing, right? And I totally get, like I said in another video, I totally get why that happened, because we had never had a black president before. So it's one of those things like, You know, he articulated himself very well, and he still does to this day. And it's like, this is a huge milestone in American history for us to vote in a black president, even though he wasn't fully black, because former President Obama has a white mother and a black father, right? So so he's not even fully black, right? But he still has black blood in him, so he's still considered black. The same thing with Kamala Harris, because she has black blood in her, she's still considered black, right? So for folks that say that she's not black, you're wrong. She's black, right? But I will say that she's definitely capitalizing on her being black as far as trying to grab the black vote. And it's one of those things, like, I can't really hate on her doing that, because if she's going to be able to secure a lot more votes to identify as being black, then, it's all about winning. Politics is all about winning. So if she wants to do that, that's fine. What I'm saying is, as far as the voters are concerned, that doesn't make sense for you to actually vote for her just because she's black. Doesn't make sense at all, right? So once again, this is all to answer the question as to why Kamala Harris, if Kamala Harris is black. She is black. And if you want to dabble in identity politics, that's fine, right? But you know, it's one of those things, like, if you're really going to dabble in identity politics and vote for her because she's black, they at the very least do the research and figure out what her policies are and how she moves around as a politician. We didn't see that too much when she was a vice president, because she was in the back, right? And folks are saying that she was in the back and we didn't see her. She's a vice president. That's what vice presidents do. So I can't really get with that when folks try to use that argument as saying that, as you know, proof of concept that she can't be a good president because she was in the foreground. That's what she's supposed to do, right? But to vote for her because she's black, in my opinion, it doesn't pass the common sense meter. It really doesn't. So anyways, you know, hey, is y'all vote how you want to. I know I'm gonna vote for what's best for my family when it comes to policy. That's just it. I'm not gonna vote for anybody just because they're black, white, red, Indian. Doesn't matter to me. I don't care about your ethnicity. I don't care about that. What I care about is what benefits my family and what policies you put in place that benefits my family. That's it, and that's all. So yes, y'all, Kamala Harris is black. All right. So if you want me to discuss a topic or something you think is beneficial to the channel, email me at finditfinishfolk@gmail.com. My email address is description below. This is Ace OG signing out. I'm gone.